Today we will be understanding how to capture a brute force attack. And before we start, a brute force attack means whenever someone is trying to access a user's account by trying some random password. And in the process, possibly what happens is first couple of times the attacker might be failing to log in, and when he is able to put in the right password, that becomes a successful login. So we will get multiple failures followed by a successful login in a brute force attack. And we will be using SignInlogs to understand that. Now, to start with, I would type in SignInlogs and just try to summarize the SignIn logs and try to get the latest login or the latest details logged in by each user. For that, we will be using two columns, which is time generated and result type. Basically, result type talks about if the result of the sign-in was success or failure, right? And we will be also counting the failed logins to understand if that user has really failed it. And to do that, we'll be using a function called COUNTIF. And then, as I mentioned, we will be using result type not equal to 0, which is basically a failure logins. And we will summarize it by user principal name. And let us have a look at for last 24 hours once we run the query. And once the query runs successfully, we can see that basically there are users who have failed logins, and the latest one is successful, right? Now, to understand this in a bit more detail, what we will do is we will try to bin the result with an hour of time bins so that each can be segmented of within an hour of result, right? Now, once we do that, we can see basically the same results within an hour, and we should be able to see the same result, right? Now, just to pinpoint the result a little further, we will put a where condition wherein the result type is equal to 0. That means the user has finally successful, but there are failed logins within the last 1 hour, and we run it and we will get the same result, right? Now, let's say we still get the results in tabular view, which might not be a great piece to read. So we will try to convert that to visual using column chart and render it once again. And once we do that, we can definitely look at a huge spike for a particular admin user here, and this is around 6 p.m. Now, to make it more understanding, we will be expanding the column chart with some parameters, and to do that we will say width kind is, we will make the column as stacked, and we will give y min equal to, we can see the numbers here 0 1 2 3 4, so let us try to give the min as 4. All right, and then rerun the query again, and when the query runs, right, you can see the base has converted from 0 to 4, right? Now, if we just change that min to kind of from 4 to maybe 6, right, and run it again, we can still see the result, but here it's starting from 6 again, right? Now let us bring it back to something else right now, and bring it back to somewhere near 4 and run the query, and here you have the result again, right? So this is basically a simplistic query to understand the actual brute force pattern where a user is being compromised after a couple of failed logins followed by a successful login.